Now, a lot of you are going to be getting the game today at 9 p.m. Western Time, 12 a.m. Eastern Time, and I want to tell you all the best team affinities for those that have the game and for those that are going to get the game. Throughout the video, there are going to be YouTube suggestions popping up directly above me. If any of them interest you, make sure you go ahead and check it out. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button, red subscribe button, turn on the channel notifications, follow me on all my socials, which are listed above me. Also, make sure you click on the channel community tab, interact with me there. More Bhlademyst, subscribe to my other channels, and if you would like to, you can become a member. And if you start in April, by the time I start streaming, you'll probably be one of the longest subscribers / members on the channel. So let's go ahead and talk about the best team affinity per division. After we do per division, later on, I will rank them. So we start off with the AL East. And the AL East got 3 shortstops, and then they got themselves a right fielder, and then they got themselves a left fielder. Now, Giancarlo Stanton, he's not bad at all. He has silver defense, silver reaction, 63 speed, and then great power against both sides. He can definitely hit one out of there, no problem. And left field is a weak position. The only real left fielders we have available to us that can play left field is probably Giancarlo Stanton. Because you look at Babe Ruth, his fielding is atrocious. You look at Yordan Alvarez, his fielding is atrocious too. Then you take a look at the shortstops, and you have Xander Bogaerts, who surprisingly doesn't have common fielding. He actually has bronze fielding, bronze reaction. What really separates him is his ability to hit. But then you look at someone like Bo, and Bo is just balanced all around. He can hit all around, similar power numbers to Xander Bogaerts. The only difference is Bo is a much better defender, and as you parallel him, he'll be able to go up to gold fielding. We look at Willy Adames. Willy Adames on the other side, he is more of a power hitting shortstop. If we look at the attributes, above 80 on both sides, he's a gold defender, gold reaction, and has tremendous speed as well at the shortstop position. So out of the 3 shortstops, the one that looks the best is Willy Adames. Now, we have to go ahead and give some respect to Anthony Santander and basically look at his attributes as well. He has close to diamond fielding. Once you parallel him up to parallel 2, he will have diamond fielding. His power will be over 80 versus right, but his contact numbers, yes, they are a little low, but that's perfectly fine. Now, when we talk about who is the best one that you should focus on getting to fill out your team in the beginning, to me, the shortstop position is one of the weakest positions in the MLB each and every single year when we're talking about the show. And to me, the best shortstop available is going to be Willy Adames. I mean, look at it. He has 96 contact versus right, 81 power versus right. That means that he is not a platoon hitter, and with the great power he has against lefties, even if they do bring in a lefty, you're still at an advantage. He has already gold fielding and gold reaction, and with an arm like that, it's going to go a long way. 74 speed is also going to help you out a ton. So if I had to give you an order on how to get these, I would get Willy Adames number 1, Giancarlo Stanton number 2, Anthony number 3, and then you can go either or for Xander Bogaerts and Bo Bichette. Now we will go to the NL East. The NL East gets a little bit more interesting because the NL East doesn't really have too many great options in my personal opinion. We start off with Dansby Swanson, who, similar to other shortstops, is basically all around balance. He gives you that gold fielding that once you hit parallel 5 will be diamond, and that gold reaction, 79 speed. He gives you almost everything that Willy Adames is giving you, but much less power. So clearly, when you compare him to Willy Adames is going to be on top. Then you get Sixto Sanchez. Now, this is the beauty about Sixto Sanchez. He has a 5-pitch repertoire, and all of them have great differentials in terms of speed, and he has an outlier on the sinker, which means that that sinker is going to be coming in at 100 miles per hour plus, which is going to be amazing on the ladder difficulties. And then his control, it's not too great, but if you use pinpoint pitching and you can locate, get perfects a ton, you're going to be pretty good with him. Dominic Smith, he plays left field. I did not know that until I got him for Showdown, and I was like, why isn't he in first base? He plays left field. He has bronze fielding, silver reaction, 38 speed, really destroys him, but he is a great hitter against both sides. Clearly better against right-handed hitters, but he will definitely take one out against lefties as well. But if you were to ask me between him and Stanton, I'm picking Stanton every single day. Another left fielder here. You get Andrew McCutchen. Fielding is similar to Dominic Smith's, but he has a worse arm, much faster, and then the hitting is similar. It's like they're the reversal of each other. One of them is great against lefties and then still good against righties, and then the other one is great against righties and then still good against lefties. So they're the reversal of each other. And then last but not least, you get yourself Patrick Corbin. Now Patrick Corbin, he has a pretty good repertoire as well. His speed differentials, they're really good as well. But that 90 miles per hour fastball, 90 miles per hour sinker is going to come back to haunt you, especially as you go to the latter difficulties. It's going to be much more difficult to blow by any hitter. And then when it comes to mixing speeds, that is probably the only way you will excel with him if you were to ask me. So if I had to rank these in terms of who to get, I would get Sixto Sanchez as number 1 from the NL East. And then at number 2, I would most likely get Patrick Corbin. Then number 3, Dominic Smith. And then you can go either or with Andrew McCutchen or Dansby Swanson, since you most likely would already have Willy Adames on your team. We now transfer over to the AL Central. And looking at these 5 team affinities from the AL Central, you got yourself Tim Anderson, who follows a similar recipe to most shortstop. He has great power against left, and then he's a really good hitter against righties too. If he had more power versus righties, it would make him even better. Surprisingly, he has silver fielding and silver reaction, and then great speed. Comparing him to Willy Adames, he definitely gives Willy Adames a run for his money, 100%. But the fielding on Willy Adames is what is going to go ahead and take me over the top when it comes to Willy Adames, because at the end of the day, you're going to be able to excel against lefties usually most of the times whenever you have a righty hitting. Then we look at Franmil Reyes. Franmil Reyes, he's playing right field. He got power. He got pop. He even has silver fielding and silver reaction. 47 speed is not the greatest in the world, but it should be able to do. Then you got Niko Goodrum. Niko, he can hit both sides, has a bit of pop against righties. He's a little bit less when it comes to lefties. The fielding is diamond. This is a diamond defensive shortstop. He has 80 speed, and he's a switch hitter. Anytime you got a switch hitter at short, that is a humongous plus for me. Then we go to Salvador Perez. Salvador Perez, card is glitchy. That's all you can really say. Has great power against both sides. Then when it comes to the fielding, arm strength, and blocking, it's all there. 24 speed for a catcher is not too bad. And then you look at Jose Berrios. Jose Berrios has only 3 real pitches, which is a fastball, slurve, changeup. Slurve and changeup both come in at the same speed. What's good about him is that he's very easy to use regardless of which pitching interface you're currently using. So if I had to pick here, I would put Salvador Perez as number 1, because right now we don't know what's going to happen with ball player, and I believe that the catcher is one of the most important positions to get a good diamond at. Number 2, I would put Niko. Number 3, I would put Jose. And then number 4, I'd put Franmil, and number 5, I'd put Tim Anderson. And this is no disrespect to Tim Anderson. It's just difficult to go ahead and put him higher than Niko when Niko is a switch hitter and Niko can play anywhere on the diamond. That just gives Niko such an advantage over anyone in general. And then one of the weaker divisions as well, we have the NL Central. They have Jason Hayward, who is a right fielder with a pretty good arm, pretty good fielding. Speed at 55 is decent, and then the hitting leaves a lot to be desired in my opinion. You have Luis Castillo, has a circle change and a slider that both are around the same speed, which is generally not good, but that fastball at 97 helps him out a little bit, and then he has great attributes in general as well. You have Keston Hiura, who has tremendous power against righties. He can hit against lefties as well. The fielding is bronze. Once you go ahead and parallel him up to parallel 2, it turns silver, and then the speed is not bad for a second baseman. You have Cabrian Hayes. Cabrian Hayes, on the other hand, He can hit for contact against both sides, has a little bit of pop. What you're really getting him for is to have a diamond defensive third baseman with good speed at a 71 speed, which is all amazing. And then last but not least, you get yourself Jack Flaherty, who has a really good arsenal. Now what hurts Flaherty is his off-speed pitches are all at the same speed, and then his fastball is not really overpowering either. So if I had to go ahead and rank these guys, I would put Keston Hiura as number 1. Number 2, I would put Jack Flaherty. Number 3, I'd put CORBIN Hayes. Number 4, Luis Castillo. And then number 5, Jason Hayward. Luis Castillo drops a ton because he only really has 3 pitches and the off speeds are at the same speed, just like Flaherty, but Flaherty has a better repertoire. And then CORBIN Hayes is another righty bat. Right now, most of the best team affinities are lefty bats, so CORBIN Hayes would go ahead and be able to give you a righty bat to go ahead and hit with. Now, I completed the entire AL West, or close to completing it. I will be making team affinity walkthroughs and basically me playing them down with you guys. You guys are just gonna have to give me a second. I gotta finish all my conquest maps, and then we'll tackle all of team affinities. So we start with Yordan Alvarez. We all know he's a DH basically. He has tremendous power against both sides, tremendous contact against both sides. I don't know if he has bronze fielding to start off or if he has bronze fielding now, because we got +2 to all his attributes, but I'm positive that he starts maybe at a 59. But to me, still one of, if not the best left fielder. Then we got ourselves David Fletcher. We have been using David Fletcher non-stop. Diamond defensive in terms of fielding, diamond defensive in terms of reaction. 61 speed is not bad, and then his contact numbers are really good. His power numbers are there. They really aren't going to give you too many home runs, but it's going to get the job done at times. Then you have Jesus Luzardo. Now Jesus Luzardo, he's basically a 3-pitch pitcher, just like Luis Castillo. He got the fastball, the changeup, the curveball, and then the sinker is basically a fastball as well. His velocity is not bad, but considering everything comes in above 85 most of the times, it's not too good, especially when you got a changeup and a curveball. That means that both off-speed pitches are vertical, and you generally don't want that because the batter is going to know, always drop my PCI down. And then we got ourselves Kyle Lewis. Kyle Lewis is a gold fielding center fielder, gold reaction, 80 speed, which is really good, and then his power against both sides are really good. He's a great hitter against righties, and then he's a power hitter against lefties. You can't ask for much more from your center fielder. I think this is one of the top dogs for center field as well. And then last but not least, we can't go without the GOAT. He is one of the best power hitters in the game in general. His fielding is off the charts. He's diamond fielding, diamond arm strength, accuracy, reaction, and then 58 speed is really good, or not really good, but it's decent for right field. So this is the most difficult one to rank, in my opinion. But if I had to, it's going Joey Gallo as number 1. Number 2, I would put Kyle Lewis. Number 3, Yordan Alvarez. Number 4, Jesus Luzardo. And then number 5, David Fletcher. The reason Kyle Lewis is number 2 is because if you don't got Ken Griffey Jr., Kyle Lewis can put some work in center field. And he's a righty bat, which you're not going to have a lot of. He's going to do a great job. Now, let's go to the NL West. In the NL West, we got ourselves another weak division. You got Ketel Marte, who is a switch hitting center fielder. This is the person that I originally wanted to put at second base, and I still think he's a good option for second base once you parallel him. He's a great lefty killer. His fielding is gold, and his reaction is gold at center field. So you can use him at center field, or you can compare him to Kyle Lewis and say, hey, I'd rather have the power hitting center fielder that has great contact against right, and then the same fielding and is faster at center field. He'll be able to track the ball a lot better. Then you have Germán Marquez. Germán Marquez has a great arsenal, a great lively fastball, and then his off-speed pitches are on the same speed, most of them. We go to Max Muncy, who can play second base and third. Great power hitter. He's a lot like Gallo, except he's not the same defender Gallo is. He's a silver fielder, and then his reaction is gold. As soon as you move him out of first base, it's going to drop to silver unless you parallel him +3 or +2 actually. It will stay gold if you do that. And then his speed at a 59 is really good for a first baseman, surprisingly. And then we got Trent Grisham. Do not sleep on Trent Grisham. The dude can rake. He has a glitchy swing, one that's just fast and through the zone. Listen, he has contact numbers that leave a lot to be desired. He's great against righties. He's basically the same against lefties. And then his fielding is diamond. His reaction is diamond. His arm strength is not really up there, but his speed at a 92. This is the best defensive center fielder you can get in the game right now, especially being a lefty. This is 100% the best, and he's going to have some pop because he has a pretty good swing. And then last but not least, we have ourselves Mike Yastrzemski. Now, all around, excellent hitter. Fielding, gold. Reaction, gold. Arm strength is horrible for a right fielder. It's a 54, and then the speed at a 63. It's not too bad. I like it. I think that it's doable. So if I had to rank these 5, I would 100% go with Trent Grisham as number 1. Max Muncy as number 2. Ketel Marte as number 3. Mike Yastrzemski as number 4. And then German Marquez as number 5. Why is German Marquez all the way at number 5? He's usually pretty easy to read. And even though his arsenal is not too bad, without outlier, it hurts him a little bit. And then at the same time, the changeup being his worst pitch is going to hurt him a little bit as well, as the slider and knuckle curve are usually a lot easier to read, in my opinion, than a changeup or a splitter. Now, with that being said, if you're asking me which division should I tackle first, which is the one that I'm going to be using the most players out of, I think it's honestly going to be the AL West. The AL West, you're going to get Yordan Alvarez. You're going to get Kyle Lewis and Joey Gallo. After you grind those 3, you don't need no more outfield, to be honest with you. Then after that, I would suggest going after the AL Central. Here, you're going to be able to get yourself a catcher, a shortstop, and if you want, a starting pitcher as well. After that, I would suggest going maybe after the Cardinals or the NL Central, where you can get yourself your second baseman and be happy with that. You can go after the NL West after that, get yourself a third baseman. You can get Max Muncy at third if you'd really like. And then you can go after the NL East and get yourself your starting pitcher in Sixto Sanchez and stuff like that. But it's up to you. You don't have to follow these rankings. You can go ahead and just buy or grind out whoever you want, because you can't buy these cards. But as always, if you did end up enjoying today's content, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe button. Don't forget to follow me on all socials at Bhlademyst. Have a blessed day and night. Stay positive, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace out.